Welcome Matt and Nagy in studio with me. Thanks for coming in, talking about project graduation. I can't believe that we're 10 days away from the class of 2019 getting out of here.
Indeed, yes. Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you for coming in and talking about it. All right, project graduation has turned into such a big deal. It's funny because you and I were talking and you're like, yeah, they started this back when I graduated. It's come a long way because it's gone from a small gathering to why in the world would you miss it, basically, if you're a graduating senior with all the prizes that you have a shot to win?
Exactly. I mean, you know, you can go out and do other things any other night, but this night, I don't know why you wouldn't go. There are hundreds of prizes and expensive prizes down to dozens and or I don't know, I might even say 100 gift cards. You know,
wow.
People have been very generous. So yeah, you got to make it to the party.
Well, this is kind of it rolls over year by year, and I know a lot of the junior parents do this to help out the senior parents, and then you get to enjoy it next year. Let's talk about the details, when it is, where it is this year. What are some of the background details first of all?
Sure. So it's immediately following graduation ceremony, which is on the 24th this year. And so basically 10 o'clock.
Okay.
I believe we're letting them in until around 11 o'clock and then close the doors at that point. And once you're in, if you leave, you can't come back. But you might as well stay because the biggest prizes are going to be happening at the end.
So how long are we going this year?
We're going to 3 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, all right. And then that'll give hopefully kids enough time to get home safely. And then after that, probably have some graduation parties Saturday and Sunday. Hopefully mom and dad plan it a little bit later in the day because, well, I have a high school student. You have a high school student. You know how they like to sleep in all the time. So, all right. So 10 o'clock. Where are we going this year?
It's in the ice arena.
Okay, yeah. Ice and Event Center, Laramie Ice and Event Center. I kind of figured that, but I just I wanted to make sure that we covered all the bases. So let's talk about some of these prizes that kids can win if they head out to project graduation. What are we talking about this year, Matt?
So there's anything from gaming systems, you know, like I said, down to gift cards. But we have bikes. Let's see, I wrote a few down here. We got some TVs, Fitbits, a couple gaming systems, cash prizes, gift cards. Like I said, the list is so huge that I've just glanced at it. Mm-hmm. I mean, the woman we had as the chair of this committee did such an amazing job. She was shopping back on Black Friday, buying things, you know, at the cheapest, so she got so many of them. But there's also going to be at the end of the night a really large cash prize.
Okay.
And constant handouts of those sorts of things. So.
Okay, so it behooves of you to tell your child if they're graduating from Laramie High School, Rock River School, or Whiting School to head to project graduation at 10 p.m. on Friday the 24th, goes till 3 a.m. on Saturday morning the 25th. All kinds of things, and it's a good chance to just kind of mix and mingle and just kind of hang out with your friends after graduation.
Well, not just hanging out. We have all these big games. So there's first of all, there's a mechanical bull.
Oh boy.
Okay, and there's a Ninja Warrior course, which I can't wait to try because I'll be working there that night. But something called Hungry Hippos. I'm not exactly sure how that works, but it's a big thing that they're bringing in. Hamster balls. You know, you roll around in those things and slam into each other. So, and a couple more, but those kinds of games as well. So it's not just hanging out. It's a lot of eating, a lot of playing, and a lot of winning.
Hey, man. Why can't I go back to high school back in the day? That's a long time ago, ladies and gentlemen. Let's just put it that way. Matt might have me by a couple years, but not very much. Let's just put it that way. So we're talking project graduation, but this is open to everyone in Albany County, which I think is important for folks to realize.
Yes, and not just like the towns you mentioned, but also I would say, you know, Whiting High School homeschoolers as well. You know, anybody who's graduating.
All right, so coming up on the 24th again at the Laramie Ice and Event Center from 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. You mentioned all the games and things like that. And you talked about the shopping and your project committee. Who is the project chair this year?
Who's running?
Yeah.
Rob Shutterly is running the whole thing.
Okay.
And Bonnie, I can't remember her last name, sorry, Bonnie, was the one who bought all the gifts. And she was really into it. She was the head of that chair.
It was Bonnie Jordan, if I...
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, okay, I kind of figured.
Yes.
I'm not surprised that Bonnie went out and got some deals way back when. How much time and effort and planning goes into this, Matt, if you can kind of relay that for folks in the listening audience? Because I know it's kind of become a well-oiled machine, thankfully. Yeah. But, you know, I know there's a few tweaks and things that need to be made each year.
Yeah, it's really nice because each committee chair gets a big binder and kind of explains how they've done it in the past. But we started meeting back in probably September,
Okay.
Monthly, and then the last month and a half we've been hitting it every week because it's kind of crunch time. But you know, it is a pretty well-oiled machine just because folks have really kind of written down how everything works. There's a lot to do, there is, but it's broken down into committees. Everyone has their own job, and then you get volunteers to help you. Okay, and I wanted to mention that we've raised over $20,000 this year.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and there was, you know, thousands still in the account from last year, which is nice because then you can buy things early and get balls rolling that way.
I got you. Again, we're talking with Matt Nagy, part of the Project Graduation Committee that puts things together for all of you graduating seniors across Albany County. And we wish you all the best in your future endeavors, but a chance to hang out with your friends and eat and games, all kinds of things coming up. You guys mentioned starting back in September. This is a mix. Is it across all classes or basically senior, junior parents?
Generally, senior, junior parents, and actually, my child is a senior, and I probably should have done this last year.
Oh, I gotcha.
Because it's going to be kind of tough, you know, hanging out and then doing the parties the next day. But we do have. It seems like there's mostly senior parents, but we're getting junior parents involved in the volunteering that night.
Okay.
And then also trying to get more junior parents next year, just because we're learning as we go, you know, what might be best.
All right, I can certainly understand that. Again, Ice and Event Center coming up on the 24th. Is it hard to believe that you got a couple, well, you got one graduate and another one just not too far behind?
It's really hard to believe.
I'm sure the stories on the committee meetings of parents thinking back, because one of these is usually they find embarrassing baby photos that they'll run on the screen throughout the night. I've seen that happen before. Is that part of it this year?
That is part of it. Yep,
Oh,
they're
boy.
gathering those photos.
Oh boy, that's always fun for the parents, not as much for the kids. Let's just put it that way. Anything else that we need to know about Project Graduation this year, Matt?
There's a couple other entertainment things. We do have a hypnotist and a magician, and apparently they've performed in the past and been very popular, very funny. And you know, have you ever been to one of those hypnotizing events?
Yes, I have.
They get them to act hilarious, and a lot of the kids want to be hypnotized. You know, they will pick me, so
Okay.
they'll have a lot of fun with that. And also, for all you gamblers out there, there will be blackjack and some more poker. What's the usual
The
Texas Hold'em?
Okay, I
So we'll have
got
lots of tables set up for that.
All right. Well, Matt, thanks so much for coming in, talking about Project Graduation. It sounds like you guys are ready for it, hopefully, as we're 10 days away, and hopefully the kids have a lot of fun. I appreciate the time this morning.
Yep, thanks for having me.